I want to welcome everybody who is here today and say thank you for coming out to this large unveiling we're about to have today. And I want to specifically thank some of our sponsors and partners in the community of Carson, the Doubletree, the bookstore from Follett. Our Pizza Hut partners, make sure you stop and see them in the back corner over there because they're also out here today, as well as members of the team and members of our inspirational squad for the Toro Cheer team, as well as the other group here. Now, lest you think to yourself that this is not fully supported by your cabinet on this campus, I want you to realize that not only is esports part of what we do as part of Dominguez Hills, it's also written over our hearts and on our sleeves, okay? So we're taking this to the next level. Ruben has done an amazing job, and he didn't write this. Ruben's done an amazing job in our first 18 to 24 months to get us 3 titles in that time. So, what's the difference between Dominguez Hills and Alabama football? They've only gone back to back. I'm just saying. So thank you for coming out. I'm just the announcements part. I'm just the appetizer. We got the president coming up, and he's got a few words for you all. So thank you, and I want to go ahead and introduce our first speaker. You want to go ahead and walk up? Where is she at? Angelina, I'm sorry. Here you go.
Angelina.
Great.
Let's see. Should I take it off? Okay. All right. I can't believe we're able to do something as awesome as hanging our CSUDH esports jersey here. And what comes to mind when you think of esports? I know that when I think of esports here at Cal State Dominguez Hills, I think of our 4 major pillars we're centered around: academics and research, community engagement and competition, and entertainment. We're able to engage and focus these key criteria. So when sitting down and thinking about collegiate esports to write this speech up, I couldn't help but to think about how many students that I've talked to who have had a similar story to mine. Like many other gamers, when I was in high school, I really struggled. I had very few friends and very little interest in my academics and education. I never dreamed of having the opportunity to play in collegiate esports, so I never tried to be involved in any competition at all. I was, however, putting varsity level hours into my computer. And I know I wasn't the only one. Millions of people around me were also putting this kind of time, or even more, into my chosen game, League of Legends alone. I felt pretty lost in school, but one thing I could always count on was my ability to go home and join a community where I felt welcomed, the gaming community. So while I was disengaged in school, I was deeply immersed in this insanely large online community that actually had a place for me to relate to others. Once I graduated, I entered community college where I was once again isolated from the community. So I trudged on and just completed my classes checklist to get them off the requirement box. While I was enjoying my classes, I was still pretty uninvolved in my own education. So I still used video games as a way to escape instead of a way to engage with others in person. And I had no dreams or aspirations or career goals. I was just stuck. Fast forward 3 years, and here I am at Dominguez Hills. I transferred to Dominguez Hills during the lockdown of the pandemic. All my classes were online, and there was lots of uncertainty and no way for me to connect with the university. Somehow, I ended up taking a look at the CSUDH esports webpage, and as an avid League of Legends player at the time, I was beyond excited to find a way to play with others from my university. An extra bonus was that the League of Legends team needed an extra player. So of course, I joined, and it was the craziest moment for me. Everyone was so kind, supportive, engaged, and ready to be a part of this huge community. For the first time, I felt like I had become an active part of my education. My university matters to me. I'm proud to be a student here, and I'm not just checking my classes off a checklist. I'm here to learn, to be involved, and to make community happen. I felt seen for the first time in my educational career. Now I have a job that I love where I can talk daily to people in collegiate esports, I have friends in school for the first time since I entered high school, and all of this is directly because of our esports organization. Competitive video games are magical to us. Millions of people around the world are all having the same experience that we are, know the same game mechanics, have the same knowledge, and actively participate in the same communities. And yet this global resource has generally been untapped in the collegiate space until now. All of this is especially thanks to those who created the community before me, to our incredible advisor, Ruben, who genuinely does it all, to President Parnham, for giving us an opportunity to create memories in a space for people like us. I know I speak for all of our association members when I say a big, emphatic thank you for giving us the space to create, to compete, be ourselves, make connections, make memories, and be a part of the amazing community of CSUDH. It means so much to have our passion validated by our university. We are so looking forward to the opportunities, memories, and excitement watching our competitions here at the CSUDH Slice and the new adventures to come in the Esports Incubation Lab. It will bring all of the students at CSUDH so much pride to see our jersey hung so proudly. Thank you so much.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Oh, wait a minute. As long as we've been cooped up inside, we are on campus on a beautiful Southern California day. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I want to, first of all, say what a pleasure it is for me to be here and support this initiative and endeavor and unveiling. And what I'd like to do is ask members of my team to come forward, because a president gets a lot of accolade for what they do, because I end up being one of the faces of the university, but know that everything we do, we represent as a team. I go nowhere without this provost, Michael Spagna, if you would. I go nowhere without our vice president for student affairs, Dr. Franklin. I go nowhere without our brand new chief financial officer and is just killing the game, and our vice president for admin and finance, Deb Wallace. You've already met, and I wanted to save him kind of for not quite last, but the exhibitionist quality of us is never lost on Vice President Chris Manriquez, if you would. And our newest member of the cabinet team, who is Vice President Scott Barrett. Really appreciate. There are a couple other people I think who are important to recognize in this space, because they'll have a direct connection to this external engagement phase. I want you to say hello to our brand new athletic director, Dina Freeman Patton. Where's Dina? Everywhere I go, whether it is in Sacramento to Washington, D.C., or around the globe, he is the American Express card. We never go anywhere without him, and is very key to our relationships. Mr. David Gamboa, if you would. We also get by with our academic partners, and I know that we have several of our deans in place, and I can't see you all under the mask, but I know I saw Dean LaPolt here.
Right over here.
Where is he?
Right over here.
Dean Brazeley, did I see Dean Brazeley here? There she is. Any other deans I haven't seen? Where are my deans at?
I think that's.
Is that it? Okay. So I want to make sure you know that while I appreciate the accolade, it is really this team who together makes decisions with lots of folk. I also want to bring forward a member of our faculty who has been instrumental for reasons I'll talk about in a second. But that is Professor Moshe Beheshti. I saw, where is
Right
Moshe?
here,
There he is.
right here.
If you would,
This way, Motion.
come. Front and center right there. This is about a team effort. And you can't do anything in the Turtle Nation without Teddy the Turtle. Where's Teddy at? Bring Teddy on up here.
Waiting for his cue. His cue.
Y'all give Teddy a little love. Give Teddy some love. Now, I know we want to get to the unveiling, but I want to secondly thank some sponsors, because no initiative that we can do on a university campus happens in absence of having strategic partners, not just engaging with the community, but literally strategic partners. And so, first of all, I want to thank our friends at the Doubletree. Where are my friends at the Doubletree Hotel? Give them up some love if you would. I want to thank our folk who connect with us through our bookstore and other services, Follett, who is here with us. Thank you. And one of our newest strategic partners who I want to give some love to, just because I also just love the product, is Pizza Hut. Give Pizza Hut some love too. And also Level Up Clothing. Where's Level Up Clothing with us? There we are. They've helped promote our clothing line for our university esports mentorship programs. So I thank those and other sponsors who are coming on board. It's almost like everything we touch in the Turtle Nation is coming up gold these days. And so let me tell you about what this is about. This initiative in esports precedes me. It goes back to 2017. I didn't arrive till 18. And Angeline, even as I hear you say thank you for providing us with a space, it wasn't us that provided you with a space. It was you that provided us with a space. Because it is the students who informed us about what it is that they needed and ways in which we could tap into some of the intellectual genius that they possessed. When I sat Ruben Caputo down, and he and I met about this whole esports thing when I arrived. And Ruben, right, was the right person at the right job. And if you ever wonder what passion looks like, right, in a character, it is Ruben Caputo who is just killing the game with esports and that team. But I said Ruben. Oh, I don't think you heard me. I said Ruben. This is a regional comprehensive university. One of 23 in the California State University system, the largest system of public higher education in all of America. But if we're going to be the big kids on the block, then we ought to act like the big kids on the block. I invited him to remember that his new president manages to set the curve, not follow the leader. At Dominguez Hills, we set the curve, not follow the leader. This is not your grandmother's Dominguez Hills any longer. And so esports was engaged in the competitive aspect of it. And I'm blown away by the students who could show me photographs and images of folk in arenas as big as the Staples Center, all around the nation and the world simultaneously gaming. Take any football, baseball, basketball game, NBA, college, whatever, and just do this with it, and it would put it to shame in terms of the crowd participation. Blew me away. And I learned that lesson at my prior institution. But as I sat Ruben down, I said, Ruben, the competitive aspects of gaming are important, but not sufficient. So we're going to create a four-prong model. And while he wanted to call it the Parham model, I'm like, nah, it's just going to be, right, the Dominguez Hills model. So competition, yes. Got to have competition. But in a regional comprehensive university, we have to have academics and research. It has to be connected to the academic enterprise. enter not only Dean Brazeley and Dean LaPolt, but also Professor Mahister, who have led a team of folk and gotten together to decide how we wanted to operationalize this vision. I brought colleagues down, up really, from Orange County, from their Department of Ed, from the Samueli Foundation, from other people, to try to introduce us to what gaming could do. And I invited people to consider that gaming, my friends, is a strategy, not just an outcome. Here at Dominguez Hills, we have a lot of talent that has yet to be revealed. But in that revelation, we have students who struggle with math, who struggle with science, who struggle with writing. And as we look at the equity gaps that we are trying to close, we on this cabinet and this professorate are trying to imagine what is it that we can do to help our students better navigate this space. And there it was laying right in front of our eyes. Because if we can create opportunity through gaming for our students to learn coding, there's a transferable asset in there to get them through these courses and to get them into that workforce later on once they graduate and, as our provost would say, thrive after graduation. If they've got to create a gaming where in the game they've got to create their own avatar and write the story, there's some writing and literacy and language and English that they have to be able to engage in that's going to help them better in the classroom. In the middle of the game, when they have to think about, how do I create and launch this projectile to either build a city or destroy an opponent, but the angle in which I do involves the math, the science, and the physics. There are academic elements in even the gaming that our students have to learn in order to even participate fully and to master the game. There's a transferable asset in there. So when we developed this four-pronged model, it had competition for sure. But it also had academics and research. It had entertainment. Why entertainment? Because I don't just want the gaming experts to be in the space. What we want, all of us want, what Ruben wants, is for anybody in this campus, or even our external partners, who don't even know how to turn on a gaming computer, I want you to feel comfortable in the space we're providing. We want to be able to entertain folk, because you never know what you might find there. And fourth, we said we have to have a community component, because Dominguez Hills is committed to being not simply in the community, but of the community. And so we've already, 2 summers now, Ruben, right, have invited and gone out and taken our folk to work with kids in Compton to be able to employ the model to teach them the functional skills that help them now better manage the rigors of their curriculum, that make them then better prepared when they get into the pipeline to come to Dominguez Hills or whatever university or college they're going to attend. That sounds like an applause line to me. Esports is a strategy, not just an outcome. So for our friends at the Doubletree, who now proudly hang a banner in the restaurant where I ate many meals and enjoyed those chocolate chip cookies, by the way. I'm a chocolate chip cookie fanatic. Hard to beat those. And they're warm too. For our friends at Follett, who are helping us with the clothing. For our team at Pizza Hut, who are signing on and really advancing and donating both, right, in-kind and cash donations to be able to help advance this initiative. For our friends at Level Up and the clothing organization, this is what you're investing in. It is not simply competition. It is about ways in which we as an institution can enhance the lives of our students through gaming. So when we unveil this jersey, and by the way, Vice President Manriquez, my jersey's hanging on the wall already. And turn around for me. The jersey have your name on it?
He's got it on.
Yeah. I love it when my VPs show off like that, right? Know that when you wear this jersey, when you see this jersey, when you see our athletics team be able to support any jersey that represents the Toro Nation, it is more than simply the activity that they engage in. It is about the Toro pride that is about transforming the lives that will ultimately transform America. With that, my friends, I want us to give one more round of applause and a thunderous round of applause to the person who leads this esports initiative. And as it started out, it has grown and grown and grown. And as I said, as the young people say, he is just killing the game. This is a tribute to Ruben Caputo and his leadership. Give it up for him. Thank you very much.
The moment everyone's been waiting for is finally here. So we're gonna bring the unveiling of the jersey, and again, this is gonna mean a great deal to us. So at any point, if you would like to take pictures afterwards, we can definitely do that. But right now, I'm gonna welcome you all, if you could, the unveiling. This is like a drumline opportunity. But before we do this, let's do this. We're gonna have a countdown of 3, 2, 1. If I may, you guys bring in the countdown. We're gonna start at 3, 2, 1. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Thank you all. Thank you all. Honestly, thank you so much for your presence. None of this is possible without all of you all being here today. And again, tremendous partners too. I see our chefs team over here in the back who are here to support us. This is the DH Sports Lounge chefs team. Please don't forget, there's a lot of great people to meet obviously, but afterwards there is a reception following after this at the DH Sports Lounge. So feel free to stop on by. Dr. Pete.
Yeah, I want to take a moment because this is a first for us. And as our library folk are kind of archiving and Professor McKnight is chronicling some of these pictures and other folk, I think it's important that we also give just a brief moment to some of our sponsors who are here. So let me see if we can invite them up real quick for just a couple of brief words. So first of all, to our friends at DoubleTree, if you would, come on over and say hello.
Thank you, Dr. Parham, and thank you, everyone. Yeah, Ashley Perez, our Director of Sales and Marketing. When we met Ruben and started talking about this program, the energy he brought and the passion he brought, really, it's what we're about, community. And we found that common bond. And everything that esports represents, we're so proud to be a part of, and so proud to be a part of this community, this program. And we just can't say enough about our partnership. And thank you, everyone. This is a tremendous day. We're so proud to be here. Thank you.
And Follette in the house, if you would.
Hello, everyone, and Rick from the bookstore. We appreciate that Ruben reached out to us, and the moment he came over and talked to us about the esports program here, we were just captured and so excited. If you haven't heard him talk about his passion, it will convert you instantly, and you'll want to be a gamer as well as the team here. And can't wait to see the finished building. And can't wait to have the jerseys there in the bookstore. It's almost a done deal. We're really close to sealing that, and hopefully everyone comes in to check out the great wardrobe that they've selected. It's really cool. Thank you.
And our new strategic partners from Pizza Hut, if you would. I know Pizza Hut's like, you called on us? Yes. We thank you, and we appreciate you.
I'm not a big public speaker, so bear with me here. But I just want to thank the college and Ruben for starting this partnership with us. And we thank you for allowing Pizza Hut to be a part of this kind of esports lab. That's all.
And Level Up, where's Level Up? I saw them. Where are they? Here we are.
Yeah, thank you very much for having us here. We've met Ruben and worked with him on the jerseys. We met some of the students that are part of the team, and it's just an amazing community to be a part of. And it's much more than a business. It's really a business that tries to help this community, and we appreciate that. Thank you very much. Thank
you. And I thank you for indulging me to really give our sponsors some love and recognition, because we literally, as a university, cannot get by with doing some of the good work we do without the strategic partners. And it takes simply a moment to be able to thank the people and encourage you to invest in those people who invest in us. So we certainly want to say thank you to all of them to do that. We know we have a reception plan. We know we have some more engagement, I think, to do around this, but what we really want to encourage you to do is to support this esports team and support the work that they are doing. In that four-pronged model that we are continuing to push out, they will certainly have a new home relatively soon. And the person who is shepherding that is not only our planner and architect, Roshni Thomas, but also Vice President Deborah Wallace, whose team is working on that. So on October 15, we'll have an opportunity when we unveil the open house for the new buildings on campus. We'll be unveiling at least the mock-up and the model as we continue to outfit it. And there are many more strategic partners who are signing on for this initiative, so we are just blessed and grateful for all of that work. But we literally, right, will be setting records, not only at winning national championships, so we've not only had 1, 2, but 3 now, right? Trifecta is what Chris Manrica said. But we'll also, I think, be helping our students, right, to better manage the rigors of their curriculum as they navigate their way through here by using gaming and instruments to do that. And I want to finally give our gaming students some love too. Where are the students who are part of the club, right? Come on down forward here. Come on down forward. We got to show them off. And if we're going to cheer our gamers, then we ought to have dance and cheer, and those folk who have joined us today, give us a cheer along with Teddy for our gamers. So what y'all got for me? It's spontaneity time. What you got for me?
Let's go Toros, let's go! Let's go Toros, let's go! Let's go Toros, let's go! Let's go Toros, let's go!
Again, thank you all for coming down today. Please take a moment to acknowledge our students if you could, and if you guys like to take pictures too with the jersey, this is a great opportunity to do so as well. All right, conclusion time. There is going to be a reception right over at the DH Sports Lounge. Please don't go anywhere. There's more to be had. And if you'd like, please take a look in the back too. There are the championships, if you can see, and the QR codes too for the menu that you'll be partaking later on. We can't thank enough the Slice team and the Jumpstart community that I see right over there. So thank you, please, if you could, quick round of applause. Again, we don't do this alone, and I see our friends over there at the College of Ed right over there showing some love. Thank you again for the fostering care that they've provided. And to our IT academic division, which I see straight ahead, there it is, it's Reza right over there, thank you. And again, so we're delighted to have you all. Please take this moment to mingle around if you guys can, just to quickly build with us. And If you like how we got Pizza Hut's attention, if you look at the back there, this is what our students did as a project to lower barrier entries. So some of our students there will get a chance to share that story. So there you have it, a lot of ingenuity that took place to essentially bring in more creativity into the minds of others to inspire them as they pursue their gaming passions. All right, thank you all. Thank you so much for the time. And Dr. Parham, thank you so much for coming on your busy schedule. Thank you so much to the leadership team that's over there as well. Thank you for taking the time. And to everyone, please enjoy. Thank you.